everyone. Welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Happy Saturday morning. If you're new to the channel, we create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And it's our way to give the earth a little hug. Everything you see right here, earrings, pin, a blouse, beautiful little mug, brand new, dishwasher safe. All this is thrift shop. It's all it's all seconds. And they have this sorry, I'm trying to turn this down. They're all seconds. They're all gently worn. And so yeah, you can, from your outfits head to toe. With the shoes, I would definitely, because the shoes is like really a hygiene area, I would definitely clean the shoes, make sure that you clean them out really well and things like that. So, but all of the crafts that we do here in the art is we're using recycled materials. So we divert the items from going into the landfill, which some of the landfills are hundreds of feet high. One out west is, I say this all the time on this channel because it's just very hard to believe. It's 27 miles long, something like that, and 500 feet high of waste. So with that, you think about it seeping into the ground, you think about it in going into the air. Every little bit that we can do if we reconfigure our creations a little bit, and many times, in my opinion, I come out with better. That's why I started using recycled materials. Number one, because I just wanted to contribute somehow to helping our earth be healthy. But then when I started to use them, the challenge was how. And one of the very first projects, there were so many very first projects, but I'm thinking of a hodgepodge hat, which I have to tell you, ignorance is bliss. It really, honestly, it is. Because the minute you really become very conscious of your rounds and different techniques, when you get really well at that with your crocheting or your knitting, you kind of fall into that. The hodgepodge hats I made, I was doing, literally, I'm not kidding you, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches, 10 stitches, 1 round, 2 rounds, 2.5 rounds, and then switching. It is so hard for me to stop in the middle of a round now. It's ridiculous. I really want to do the hodgepodges. We're going to do them together because it's such a fun project. With those hodgepodges, I also was adding a little, very thin pieces of fabric. Now, I've seen people crochet the fabric hats, fabric. But they're using 1.5, 2-inch wide, and I think that's too. That's like for a rug size. I think if you do really teeny tiny width, seriously, like 1/8 of an inch is good. But you want to make sure that the fabric is strong. You can crochet that right into a hat. So we're going to be doing things like that. But this morning I wanted to share with you a few things, and then I'm going to bring you with me to start a Boro Sashiko inspired coin bag. We're going to lay it out or start. We're going to get the fabrics together. But first I want to share this with you. So I needle felted this little sheet. I don't think I shared this little one. I may have, because I made the little knitting needles. You see, she's holding knitting needles and she's knitting. So I was just playing around with this. Now, she's needle felted as a sheep. So I didn't, I mean, she's a sheep. What I'm trying to say is I could have left the clothing off and I was thinking that, and just maybe put a little scarf. So I made the little dress, which you can't even really see. There's the little straps, and this is the one I was saying that her name would be Daisy because she's wearing a daisy dress. So I put the little boots on her with just wool yarn. So I'm gonna go scouting for more wool yarn, and so I can use, because you can use your wool yarns in your needle felting projects, okay? And I crocheted her a little hat. That's her little hat. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you. The last video I just did yesterday, check it out. It's on making miniatures like this, little miniature props, like these little knitting needles. So these are made out of paper clips. I just took one paper clip, I straightened it out, and then I clipped it in half, and then I glued a bead onto the end of it. That's a bead. So it looks like a little knitting oh, I don't want to pull it out too far. She's knitting, see? Knitting needles. So I think I'm going to make a bunch of those up. If you want them, I think I'll sell them on Macari. I'm not kidding either, because it's just the cutest thing. I have all different colors. I had a lot of fun making them. So I think we'll do that and get those out and about, because little props. And anyway, so the last video I just did yesterday, I go over all of the different, there's like 20 plus different little items that you can use in your house to create little miniature props. So I'm not a miniaturist artist, as you know, I'm a textile artist, but I love little props with my needle felted items. So that's little Daisy that I made. So we'll see. I probably would like to make more little daisies, but I'd like to make them half of her size, to be honest, because that took a while. It does take a while when you needle felt, it just does. I'd like them to be more this size. So this is, he's just about, oh, whoops, he's about half the size of Daisy. So this is, oops, sorry. This is a little snowman, a little abstract I had made. And so you tell me, what do you think about creating and making Christmas items through the year? Now, there's a couple things going on with the holidays that many people are finding them difficult to even get through. Other people, and I think tight-knit, I'm just guessing tight-knit families, large families, it is an opportunity for family and friends. So maybe large groups of friends, businesses, maybe small businesses, I don't know. Really celebrate and focus on the holidays. But I was thinking of making some of the little snowmen through the year. So I don't know what you think about that, and then sell them through the year, have them available. So I wanted to share that with you. Now we're going to go over to my little creative hub here. That's what I call it, my little creative hub. We'll give it a fancy name for now. Okay, so let's go over here. Hi, Umi and Mashuki. They are in, this is my little birds. I don't know if you can see them there. So they're entering their mating season, which is going to be a difficult time for them. And it is a time I have understood. They really do like, they like me to talk to them, and they like to see me, but they don't like to be hovered over as much as when they were babies. They were really okay with me kind of talking to them a lot. Now they're like, hey, we're busy. Okay. Anyway, they're busy making their little nests. They're still little babies. but they will be coming into the season where Umi could very well lay eggs. Anyway, okay, let's try to get out of the sun here. And actually, it's not even sun. It's not sunny. Okay, so if some of you saw the video, oh, and I still have another video to put up of we'll get that. You're gonna see some new videos today. I may be putting up 2 or 3 today. Okay, this is something I just want to show you quickly. Okay, let me pick up all my wool. I've been making my little mushrooms I was talking to you about, and we'll have a video specific on those. Okay, we won't get into that right now. This is my little tray of just recycled items that I may, including a little bottle cap, a little ring. You can make miniature wreaths, and we went over that a little bit for your little, I might make like a little mouse holding a wreath or something like that, a little rag wreath. Anyway, you see this little pocket that I made here? I want to make more of these. So we're going to be doing these. We're going to use a Boro Sashiko style, but technique. We're going to be use a Boro Sashiko inspired style. Okay, now I'm just going to put that to the side because these, I'm sorry, I'm like, my little creative hub consists of this table. I am working on getting my other table over here, so we will have more room to, then we can use my little rolling chair that my son gave me, and we can roll. We can roll around this table from project to project, and then we can roll to the next table to more projects. I love it. Okay, so let me get my scissors. Oh my. Which I think I moved them because I thought I was going to be in another spot here. Well, I don't have I can't seem to find my scissors. So that's okay because we're going to go over our fabrics. So let me grab my fabrics and show you the fabrics that I really want to use this morning. And they're very pretty. These were from the last thrift shop run. And I really do want to use all of these. So, and I want to use some of them to make more. This is why I need 2 and 3 tables. I don't know about you, but sometimes I end up sitting actually on the floor to make room for my projects. That's how I parallel my projects. Oh, I forgot I had all of these. Yeah, these, look, this is why I can't, I cannot emphasize enough that having, even if it's a little bit of organization, just a little, how far you can go really with your art. Because back in the day, I may have pieces like this mixed in with other pieces. Look, this is the beginning of a hat, and this is a cow Boro Sashiko inspired hat I want to do like this. So guess what? Instead of kind of throwing it to the side and mixing it up with everything, I put it in a bag with all of the circles, all of the yo-yos. So now I have it, I've stitched it, and now I can start building on this. Okay, that's a super big help. So I'm going to put that there. So I have to make more hats. Look, I saved the beginning of a lot of my hats. Look, there's another one. Because as you know, I went to Milton Artist Guild the other day. By the way, thank you for having a coffee with me. you'll see the live video here. And I need to be filling up my table again. Okay, it's very important. Very important. It's and you know uh used to say this a lot when I was working part-time in the grocery. I'm gonna take these out too. Um, these are some of the yo-yos that we made. But I mean, first of all, look, I mean, it inspires you to go back over some of the things that you started or you took apart or you weren't really using. Because these, like I said, look, these little hats that I made. Right now, I'm needle felting it again. So I want to take these little hats out that I made, and it inspires me greatly. So I'm going to put those over to the side there. Okay, so now that we went through all of that, now we can get to what fabrics am I going to use to make my coin bags. Welcome to the life of an artist. I haven't even had a full cup of coffee yet, so yeah, this we should just call this um, Echo Art with Carmella Raw. Just waking up. So first of all, I'm keeping my bag, excuse me, of all of my denim scraps close by. Okay, so that's going to be right here. Okay, now if some of you remember these, I want to get a measure for you, and I'll have to. I moved my measures. Here they are. I moved one of them because I was bringing it with me. So if you want to make a coin bag with me, a couple things. This one, this little one, because we're going to do some little ones. The reason we're doing little ones is because we're not in the middle of New York City here. We're not in Boston. You got to say it like that. I'm telling you, this spring, I may just drive to Boston, seriously, to get a cup of coffee. I'm not even kidding you. Spend a night there, wake up, go to the cafe. Their coffee is absolutely ridiculously phenomenal. I don't know why. It's very good there. Uh, the coffee here, yes, it's very good. Actually, I'm thinking of Jericho um, Cafe. Oh, it's Cafe and Tavern. I don't go to the tavern side, so I don't know, but I did go to the cafe, and they have Vermont Coffee Company coffee. That is outrageous. I may have to get a little percolator just to start drinking Vermont Coffee Company coffee. When you want a strong, really good tasting cup of coffee, man, that's it. I'm telling you. Embodied. Oh, so good. Anyway, how we got onto that, I'm not sure. So this is let's see, 3, 6. I think it was about 10. Yeah, 8. So this would be the length would be about 8 to make this little pouch. And the width, if you're going to fold it like that, and the width is about 4. I think this is precious. So I was getting into, why am I making this size? Because um, I'm making this size now because I want to get it in a price range that people can afford and have them experience and be able to have something that is a historical cultural art. So I'll be revamping my little cards so I can tuck them in to the little coin bags when I sell them, and people can read it, or I can explain it and they can read it and understand what Boro Sashiko is and how far back it goes, because it's an ancient, beautiful skill. So that's that one. These today that we're going to be working, starting to design this morning, these are, I have about 6. Sometimes they're just a little more. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, this is 6, 6.5. Okay, about 6.5. So 6 to 6.5. It depends on the pant leg. These are from a pant leg, okay? And these are usually about 10 or 11, yeah. This one is, the reason I say 10 to 11, or this one's 11.5, is because it's going to depend how you fold the top. You may have it come down more, you may have it come up more. So it's up to you, okay? So now I'm going to show you the materials that I'm going to be working with. Oh, and I found my scissors just magically appeared. You know what? You know why? Because these were covering the scissors. I had put them together because I was being organized, okay? And then I couldn't find them. All right. So what I want to do is my first couple of designs I want to do is I want to work from this pile right here. And if you have one of these, I had gotten this thinking I can cut fabric, and we're going to test it. I don't think that I can. But first, I just want to go over with you. For those of you new, you're scrolling and you're like new to Boro Sashiko inspired projects. What you need is, if you don't have a Sashiko needle, which is what they use for Boro Sashiko inspired projects, get an embroidery needle. So an embroidery needle with a sharp, it needs to be sharp here so you can sew through your fabrics, and you don't want it too wide. You don't want the eye too wide, but it needs to be wide enough so you can get your lacy crochet thread through. So that's what I use, is lacy crochet thread, because I get them at the thrift shops. Okay, so with that, that's just for those of you who are new and joining us and you want to work on this project. So for this afternoon, what you would need is get a piece, just for those of you starting, just get a piece of denim, because I'll be back later this afternoon and we'll spend some time and start our project. So get a piece of denim that you can work with. If you don't have denim, like just a scrap piece of cotton. And thank you for having a coffee with me this morning. So this is from a bag of scraps we just got recently. And this is, I may get my little iron out, because some of you say, well, do you iron, Carmella? Why don't you iron? And I do iron. I do. Sometimes, if it's just not too serious of kind of wrinkles, I will iron when I've got everything into place. But these, I just may iron beforehand. But I put them all together. This is part of the organization that I'm just so happy I did, because these are varying widths, but all probably about an inch and a half. Let's see what these are. So you can use these for many different things, whether you're crocheting. We were just talking about that a little while ago. Yeah, these are about an inch and a half is what's going on there, an inch to an inch and a half. So for those of you interested in the kawandi, what I'm going to do is to be cutting these. I'm going to be using these strips today. And we're going to design, if not another wall hanging, we'll do a bag. I'd like to do a little bag, okay? With the kawandi inspired. So we will go around in that way. To me, it is kawandi. You'll be able to see the square or the rectangle better. It will be emphasized. So if you have your 1 inch, so make them about a width of 1 inch, and then cut them maybe every, let's see here, I want to say every 2 to 3, every 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches, depending what the piece is you're going to be designing. Okay, so these I'm going to use for one project. So I'm putting these to the side, and I feel really good about that because when I first got these, I'm like, I really don't know if I'm going to even use those. But the other thing, we can crochet little baskets with 1 inch width strips like that. So I'm going to put those over there. So I just kind of want to test this out. I don't think it will even work. But this is one of the, so I had a customer long ago, who I really did consider a friend, and distance and a whole bunch of other factors kind of separated us. But she was a wonderful customer. And what she did is she ordered about 3 pouches, about 3 coin bags at a time, in color themes. So she'd say, oh, if you can get all purples or if you can get all greens. So predominantly I would maybe get fabric like this and say, oh, I've got green on here, but there's a stripe of orange. Is that okay? And she would most likely say yes because it was predominantly green. So I kind of want to do that. I want to be doing that, but I also want to do some mixed up. So I want to get at least, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going to try. I want to get at least 4 up on that table this week. I really, really do. So we need to get back up there to Milton Artist Guild Monday or Tuesday. And yeah, very, very. The reason I'm giving myself a deadline like that is it makes me really focus and no messing around like, oh, well, I've got tomorrow morning to work on it. No, no, I do not. Okay, so let's test this little cutter. I don't know if it's going to work, but so let me just so what I'm going to be doing is 2 things. I'm going to be getting my fabric um in color schemes, okay? And so first I'm just going to rip this one. I like the ripped effect because it does tighten up the edges for the fraying. It believe it or not, when you rip the fabric, it curves the fraying. The fraying is an intricate part of Boro sashiko, okay? It's an intricate part of it. I want the fraying. If you don't want the fraying, use the fabric adhesive, but it smells, oh my, the chemicals in it. Ah. Anyway, I do have fabric adhesive. Would I spray it in the house? Absolutely not. My finches would not be able to breathe. No, you can't. You can't. I wouldn't be able to breathe. I sprayed it once, more than once in my life, outside, and it was like, it was in that space for the longest time. It was ridiculous. Anyway, not to say too many negative things about it, except that it is a chemical. So the natural fraying, when you start to sew here, like this, I'm going to clip, but when I sew that, it curves the natural fraying for years and years and years and years. They may get very minimal. I'm serious. It's just, yeah. So anyway, let's test this. So I'm going to put this down. Okay. I don't know if this even works, but this is really a paper cutter, but I kind of want to just see. No. It's catching it a little. on the edge there. I just wanted to see if it worked. But guess what? I've tested it with paper. I don't think it works. Let's try it. Just for the heck of it. Oh, it does work, guys. It works on paper. Okay, so we're going to be doing our journaling and we're going to be using this. So I must have put the paper in wrong when I did this last time because I was testing it on paper and I wasn't happy with the effect. That was just lovely. Okay, that was a thrift shop find. It was $1. I look for things like that at the thrift shop, like little tools, if I can use them. So I have my journal bucket and all the stamps that I had gotten from the thrift shop. And I've been looking at the thrift shop like on and off for little stamps, and they've put the price up. If I'm gonna pay $4.99, $5.99, $6, $7.99 at the thrift shop, I'm just gonna go to the store and get a brand new stamp. I'm serious. I'm not even. I mean, the principle of it, yes, is to buy it at the thrift shop, but I want to donate my things to get a lower price. I really do. I want to donate to divert it from going to the landfill, but I want them to be fair. So I probably talk them down first before I do that. Anyway, because I have an adversity in going in and buying something new. But I'm just saying, overall, that's what people will do. So I have this piece, okay, and I can put it, look how it fits beautifully onto the front. So you can, when you do your Boro Sashiko, you can have a large piece like that. You can have another large piece and then another large piece. It doesn't have to be a bunch of small. So I'm going to keep that because that's definitely one of the fabrics I want to work with. And yeah, if you're at the thrift shop and they do have something that's highly priced, ask them if they'd mark it down because a lot of times they will. However, there's a high-end concept of the thrift shop and they'll have things now in cases that they consider collectibles or very valuable. And so they'll have those too. Okay, so this is another piece I'm going to be using. And so I think this is just lovely. And I think what I'm doing this morning is just starting out with larger pieces. And the reason is I want to create some of the independent Boro Sashiko designs with the stacking. So you've seen the stacking. It's kind of staggering little pieces and I'll show you those. But first, I'm just kind of going to lay out my larger pieces. So I have these so far. Okay. And from there, I will gain inspiration. Now, I have another stack here of maybe 2-3 inch wide pieces. And look what I have. And I'm just talking about green and different themes because now I can, so here's some greens. So I'm going to put the stack together of greens. And look, here's some blue. Do I have blue? No, that's purple. This has some blue in it, but it's not the same kind of a blue that I would be looking for. So I just have this to the side now, and I'll also be mixing these, but this, I gotta tell you, I love this. And people will say, well, yeah, Carmella, that's why people go buy them new. But I do understand that. I do understand that. However, I can guarantee you that I will run across similar, if not the same, in the thrift shop of printed beautiful fabric, oh, like that. So that one I'm starting out with too. It's not, and again, this is more of a purple than a blue, you can see. So this piece I had over here with some purple, I may pull it. Oh, and I do have more purple. So if I do my themed, I'm going to stay with different variations of purple. That's a, like, those are actually, I was just saying to you that I would find something similar, but look, I mean, that's so close, and it's a completely different um, stash of fabrics. So now I have this beautiful checkered fabric. And again, I'm starting out with my larger pieces. And this one I can just rip this. This is lovely. Now this one, look, here's your coin bag piece or base. It's your base. And what you can do is you can take the whole piece and just turn it this way, and you can sew it on so you're covering the whole piece. And then from here, you can start to kind of add pieces. That's another way you can do it. So you can use your denim as your base and build, or you can have a nice backdrop and just add some pieces. So we can do that too. I really like that right there, so I'm going to do that. I really like that because you want to make all different styles, or I mean, you don't have to. I should speak for myself here. I like to make all different styles, so I'm going to keep that like that. That's kind of speaking to me in a way. You might say it's like it's jumping out at me. And actually, this is jumping out at me to kind of develop a nice little design with this and this. Yeah, that's going to be lovely. So this is how I do it. I go through my it's a piece of fabric there. I go through my fabrics, and I just, when I find something that really jumps out like that, I put it to the side. If there's cuts in it, I try to keep it nice and even. So this is another lovely piece. I'm not sure, this might be a nice little backdrop. I'm not sure. It's not really doing anything for me. Actually, this piece will not do anything, I think, unless it's by itself, maybe with some embroidery, or and a piece that kind of jumps out on it, from it, like this, like a red, maybe. Oh, this is pretty. So this is a nice, that might, and that's almost too much. But I'm going to keep this to the side. I don't know if I'll be using this. So, okay, so we've got that. So those are the main pieces I'm going to be starting with. Okay, and I'll be theming different colors, and then having some coin bags with all different colors. So so a lot of times the way I'll do this is I may lay out, for me, I like to work 3 at a time, but I can do 5 or 6. And because I'm in a very creative mode, I'm probably going to lay out about 6 or 7 and just kind of uh, get the beginnings of my visualization of the colors that are speaking to me, is the only way I can say it. Or seem to be really beautiful to me in the moment. Okay, so with that, that's what I wanted to share with you this morning. Get your fabrics out, get your cotton, your denims. Again, the measure of this is about 6.5 to 7 wide, and in length from about 10.5 to 11.5, depending how you want to fold it. Okay? So with that, I hope that helps. I hope you have a beautiful Saturday morning, and I'll see you shortly later today. Love and light.